Have you ever noticed how the more you want something, the more you think about it, chase it, and worry about it, the more it seems to move further away? You keep checking for signs. You keep asking when it will happen. You keep wondering if you are doing something wrong. And slowly, without even realizing it, your mind becomes tired. Your heart becomes heavy. What started as hope begins to turn into stress. The truth is, letting go feels difficult for many people because holding on feels safer. We believe that if we think about something all the time, if we control every detail, or if we never stop trying, we can make things happen faster. Deep inside, we are afraid that if we stop holding on tightly, things may fall apart. Afraid that if we relax, we may lose what we truly want. But many people spend their lives carrying invisible weight. The weight of worry, pressure, fear, and endless thinking. They hold on so tightly because they think control creates safety. But sometimes, holding on too much is the very thing that steals peace from our lives. Sometimes the hardest thing is not getting what we want. Sometimes the hardest thing is simply learning to let go. There is something many people never realize. When you constantly chase, force worry, and overthink, you may believe you are helping your dream come true. You may think that thinking about it every minute means you are serious about it. But sometimes, without knowing it, you create resistance. Resistance is invisible. You cannot touch it or see it, but you can feel it. It feels like stress in your heart. It feels like pressure in your mind. It feels like waking up every day asking, why is nothing changing? Imagine trying to hold water tightly in your hands. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips away. Life can sometimes work in a similar way. The more pressure we place on an outcome, the more tired and frustrated we become. Instead of feeling excited, we start feeling worried. Instead of feeling hopeful, we begin feeling afraid. Many people think they need to push harder all the time. They think they must control every detail and know exactly when things will happen. But endless worrying sends a message that says, I do not trust life. I do not trust the process. And when the mind is filled with fear and pressure, peace slowly disappears. This is why many people feel stuck, not because they are incapable, not because their dreams are impossible, but because they are carrying heavy emotional weight every single day without even realizing it. Now here is where many people misunderstand the idea of letting go. The moment they hear the words, let go, they think it means giving up. They think it means stopping their dreams, losing hope, or simply sitting back and doing nothing. But that is not what letting go truly means. Letting go is not quitting. It is not telling yourself that your dreams no longer matter. It is not becoming careless about your future. In fact, true letting go comes from strength, not weakness. Letting go simply means releasing the pressure that says everything must happen right now. It means letting go of fear, panic, and the need to control every step of the journey. You can still have dreams. You can still take action. you can still believe deeply in what you want. But you stop carrying the heavy burden of desperation. Think about how peaceful life would feel if you could say, I know what I want, and I trust that things are unfolding in the right way. Imagine waking up every morning without constant stress, without checking for signs every hour, and without feeling exhausted by endless thinking. Because when you let go, you are not throwing away your dreams. You are removing the fear wrapped around them. And sometimes, the moment fear leaves, peace enters. And when peace enters, life begins to feel lighter in a way you may have forgotten was possible. One of the biggest struggles people face is timing. We live in a world where we want answers quickly. We want results now. We want to know exactly when things will happen and how they will happen. And when nothing changes right away, doubt begins to enter the mind. We start asking questions like, did I do something wrong? Did I miss my chance? Or why is everyone else moving ahead while I feel stuck? But life does not always work according to human timing. Sometimes things are happening behind the scenes that we cannot see. Think about planting a seed in the ground. The moment you plant it, nothing appears on the surface. Days pass, maybe even weeks. If you looked only at what your eyes could see, you might think nothing is happening. But underneath the ground, roots are growing. Something important is taking place in silence. Life can work the same way. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean there is no movement. Just because things have not arrived yet does not mean they are not on the way. Sometimes opportunities are forming. Sometimes people are entering your path. Sometimes lessons are preparing you for what you asked for. Not everything beautiful arrives instantly. Some things need time to align. And perhaps one of the greatest acts of trust is believing that even in moments of silence, life may still be working in your favor. Trust is one of the most powerful things a person can have, yet it is often one of the hardest things to practice. Many people trust only what they can see. They trust proof. They trust results. They trust things that already happened. But real trust begins before the results appear. Real trust says, even if I cannot see the full picture right now, I believe things are still working out for me. Think about how much energy people spend worrying every day. They replay problems in their minds. They imagine worst-case situations. They try to predict every outcome. And little by little, worry steals joy from the present moment. It takes away peace that could have been felt today, because the mind stays trapped in tomorrow. But trust changes something inside you. Trust allows the heart to breathe. Trust creates space where fear once lived. Instead of carrying pressure all day, you begin to feel lighter. Instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong? You slowly begin asking, what if life is helping me in ways I cannot see yet? The truth is, trust does not mean life becomes perfect overnight. Problems may still appear. Delays may still happen. But when trust enters your life, panic begins to leave. And sometimes that inner peace is the first sign that things are already starting to change. Sometimes people believe they have let go, but if they look honestly within themselves, they may discover they are still holding on very tightly. And the truth is, holding on too tightly does not always look obvious. It can hide behind daily habits and thoughts that slowly drain your energy without you even noticing. One sign is overthinking. You think about the same situation again and again, hoping that one more thought will finally give you an answer. Another sign is constantly checking for results. You keep looking for proof that something is happening. You keep searching for signs, wondering if today will finally be the day everything changes. And when nothing happens, disappointment quietly enters your heart. Another sign is impatience. You feel frustrated because things are not moving as quickly as you expected. You compare your journey with other people and ask yourself why your life feels delayed. You may even start feeling emotionally exhausted, not because life is impossible, but because carrying pressure every day becomes heavy. Pay attention to your feelings. If your mind feels restless all the time, if your heart feels tired, or if you feel anxious from constantly trying to control the future, it may be a sign that you are holding on too tightly, because peace rarely grows where pressure lives. And sometimes awareness is the first step toward finally setting yourself free. The beautiful thing about letting go is that it does not require you to change your entire life overnight. It starts with small actions, small moments, small choices that slowly create peace inside you. Because letting go is not a one-time decision, it is a practice. And like any practice, it becomes easier with time. One simple way to begin is through gratitude. Instead of focusing every day on what is missing, pause and notice what is already present. Notice the little blessings you often overlook. The air you breathe, the people who care about you, the lessons you survived, and the strength that carried you this far. Gratitude gently shifts your attention from lack to abundance. Another simple practice is learning to be present. So many people live trapped inside tomorrow. They worry about things that have not happened yet, but life is happening right now, at this moment. Take a deep breath. Slow down. Sit with yourself for a few moments and allow your mind to rest. And when fear enters your thoughts, do not fight it. Notice it, breathe through it, and let it pass like a cloud moving across the sky. Remind yourself that you do not have to control everything. Sometimes peace arrives the moment you stop trying to carry the entire world on your shoulders. Sometimes letting go begins with simply giving yourself permission to breathe. Many people spend their lives chasing what they want. They chase happiness, success, love, peace, and abundance. They keep telling themselves, once I get this thing, then I will finally feel complete. But what if the journey works differently? What if the secret is not to chase endlessly, but to become the kind of person who is ready to receive? Think about it for a moment. If someone lives every day feeling unworthy, fearful, or empty inside, they may continue attracting more situations that match those emotions. But when a person begins to feel peaceful, grateful, and open, something inside starts changing. Their energy changes. Their mindset changes. The way they see life begins to change too. Becoming a match for receiving does not mean pretending your life is perfect. It simply means becoming the version of yourself that already carries trust within. It means choosing calm over panic. It means choosing faith over fear. It means waking up and saying, I do not need to force life today. I do not need to chase everything. I can be open to receiving good things. Because sometimes what we seek is not only looking for action, sometimes it is looking for space. Space to enter a heart that is no longer filled with pressure and doubt. And perhaps that is when life begins to respond differently. Not because you chased harder, but because you finally opened the door. Something beautiful begins to happen when a person finally stops fighting life. Not because they stopped caring, not because they gave up on their dreams, but because they stopped carrying fear everywhere they went. They stopped forcing every door to open. They stopped trying to control every second of the journey. And little by little, life begins to feel different. When you surrender, you create room for flow. You notice that your mind becomes quieter. Your heart becomes lighter. The pressure that once lived inside you slowly begins to disappear. And suddenly, you start seeing things you were too stressed to notice before. New ideas appear. New opportunities arrive. Unexpected moments begin to enter your life. Sometimes blessings do not arrive through struggle. Sometimes they arrive through peace. Many people are so focused on pushing harder that they forget there is power in allowing. There is power in stepping back and trusting that not every answer needs to be forced. Have you ever noticed how some of the best moments in life came unexpectedly? The people you never planned to meet, the opportunities you never saw coming, the moments that changed everything when you least expected them. Life has a way of surprising us. And maybe that is the lesson. Sometimes life begins to flow not when we grip tighter, but when we loosen our hands and finally allow things to come naturally. As we come to the end of this journey, remember this life was never meant to be carried with clenched fists and a worried mind. You do not have to force every answer. You do not have to control every outcome. And you do not have to spend every day wondering if things are working out for you. Sometimes the greatest act of strength is not pushing harder. Sometimes it is learning to relax, breathe, and trust. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the fear. Let go of the need to know exactly how and when everything will happen. Trust that life may be arranging things in ways you cannot yet see. Trust that what is meant for you does not need endless struggle. And trust that when the time is right, things can arrive in ways more beautiful than you ever imagined. The universe does not always work on human timing, but that does not mean it is not working. So release the weight you have been carrying. Open your heart. Allow peace to enter your life. And remind yourself today that you are allowed to stop chasing and start allowing. If this message spoke to your heart, take a moment to like this video. Comment below with "I trust and let go." Share it with someone who needs this message today, and subscribe for more uplifting and powerful content. Remember, good things are still making their way to you. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep allowing life to flow.